welcome Tess Howard. Thanks for joining us on Chatting Hockey, our Guernsey Hockey podcast. It's great to meet you and great to see you on our screen. How are things going at the moment in terms of your hockey life? What's going on?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's so great to be on your show. I love talking hockey, so this is just a privilege on a Wednesday morning. Yeah, so what's been going on? The seniors have been doing quite an intense block I'd say the last 2 months since we got back from Christmas. We've been really pushing training. We've had practice matches with the development players coming in to make sort of like an 11v11 due to numbers. But on a personal side, I've been dealing with an injury for the last 3 months. So I strained my pubic bone, which is a difficult one to get your head around because you don't really know how it's going to react to change of direction and getting into low positions, which is essentially the whole of hockey. So I've had a few almost returned, then re-injured it. So it's been quite a long period, but on a personal note, feeling stronger and fitter because of the rehab period. So yeah, just really excited to get back to the squad. I think it's like 2 weeks now, 2 weeks left. So feeling excited.
So you might be able to make the squad for the next Pro League games then? They're coming up soon, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. We've got some practice games against Ireland, which I believe will be streamed on BBC Sport somewhere. Cool. That's the 11th to the 17th of March. So we'll be flying out there next week. I won't be able to play in those games, but definitely the next set afterwards.
Brilliant. So you still go out and as part of the squad then and all stay together?
Yeah, the idea is to bring everyone, and it was just a question of whether I would be back playing hockey by then, to like do extra hockey on the whilst they're not playing, and it looks like that will be the case. So it'll be great to do with the girls. It makes such a difference, even just being part of the squad. Friendships and connections and things like that. That's one of my favorite parts about hockey. So nice to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean that's an awesome part of the sport, isn't it? That everyone's sort of so friendly, and over here we have like a really tight-knit hockey community. Is that something that you've kind of experienced as well?
Oh yeah, since joining the sport, I just found like instant family. And we actually, our WhatsApp group is called the GB family rather than the GB squad. That's a little insight. But my first hockey club was Cambridge City, and it was the juniors. And then when I was about 13, I joined the ladies side, ladies fours, and I mean, once my mum had to join us on the pitch because she drove me to the match and we realised we didn't have enough players, so she joined on the pitch. But it just kind of sums up the kind of attitude that hockey players have. And yeah, I found sisters so I don't have any sisters. I just have 2 brothers and lifelong friends of all ages. That's one of the best things about hockey.
Yeah. Oh, what's great is you like you say, you can join the sort of adult section when you're so young, can't you? And I guess it's a bit of a baptism of fire in the ladies' sports, but it's probably a good experience as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I would recommend to any young players just as soon as they can get to playing with the ladies or the older players, the men's teams, because you learn so much from them. When I first joined, they were like, "You're the energetic one. Go up front, run around for us, and we'll defend, and you go and score the goals." And to be fair, that's the same attitude I've had for the last maybe 5 years. So it's definitely stuck. But you get to. Oh, I remember like match teas after the games were honestly the best time. You get ripped to shreds being mocked by all your teammates, but that was always good fun. And we had this like fine system where I'm sure you've done it before, where you sort of go around the table and everybody sort of says something funny about what's happened that day, or you have like dick of the day or something. And that's those are always so important for building connections on the pitch. And it's definitely been my biggest honor playing for GB has been becoming teammates with people who I before and still look up to. So yeah, that's the connections.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I totally get exactly what you're saying about match teas and stuff. And some of my memories of playing hockey in the UK are about sausage and beans and chips at the end of the match. It's pretty much every club did that. Yeah, is that something like the fines thing? Is that something you've kept in the GB squad? Is it part of the kind of morale building, I guess?
We haven't got a fine system, but in my yeah, that'd be actually really quite funny. I think after the international matches, it's a little bit more professional. Professional, you know, ice baths and nutrition, protein in on the bus back home, recover the next day for the next game. There's not really not really much time for that, but you know, if we've done well at a tournament or after the Olympic qualifiers, for example, we had a huge team like social, and that was really important to you know build morale and things like that. But we do team socials. Just we've done sort of like picnics and things like that. We've done groups of 6 picnics when it was originally. We've done online socials since lockdown has started. So we're pretty adaptable, but yeah.
That's cool. It's building that sense of team, isn't it? Which I guess must really help when you go into the tournaments. And you know, I know you weren't necessarily part of it last time, but it was a big thing that I think came out of the Rio Olympics was the togetherness of the squad. And I guess that's something you've continued with.
Absolutely. It was I still get goosebumps looking at the photos of them with all of their arms around each other right before, you know, before they won. With as each goal went in, you had a coming together of the whole squad. And when I first joined in 2018, I was 19, and I could have easily just sort of like slipped through and not really got to know my teammates, but I knew how important it was to build trust and relationships, and so it was, as well as getting up to speed hockey wise, it was actually learning to understand your teammates, and having little chats with them, you know, by the toaster in the mornings or when you're out in China, or with your roommates, really getting to know each other. And that's what builds the trust. So it's looking at the Rio team, how close they were. We're in the process of that at the moment, and we have such a strong team understanding now, team identity. And I think ultimately it's like it is what you are, your character as a team, that will play on the pitch and win medals. And you know, we've had a hard sort of 2.5 years with new head coach coming in, change of players, quite a young squad, and we've been trying to find our identity, and we now know what it is. We showed beating New Zealand and Australia last year that we know who we are now, and so the year that we've had has really just solidified that. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of the games, and it looks like kind of you've had to change the way you play a little bit. You know, not having the likes of Alex Stanson up front, you know, really has changed the dynamic of the squad, perhaps. But it looks like goals are coming from all over the pitch now, which is a bit different.
Yeah, it's great because, yeah, like you say, we might have missed sort of some of the experience up front that we used to have, but in a different way, it's given opportunity for us to find goals from elsewhere. And I've loved being able to have the freedom just to express myself up front. And we play a great game of give and go now, 2v1s. We have this concept of Gegen pressing, which is actually from Liverpool football, and it's the as soon as you lose the ball, we go and press as quickly as possible. So we've got these concepts in that make us a really dangerous attacking side. That goals can come from anywhere now, you know, and the way that Mark Hager, our head coach, likes to give us the freedom to go and express ourselves and go and take risks. I think that showed in the Belgium goals that we scored were that was in November. Those were quite exciting goals, and yeah, so I think we're in a good place as a squad.
Yeah, definitely, and I guess big hopes for Tokyo, assuming it goes ahead.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's move on a little bit now. We talked a bit about the performance side of things. I guess we've been in lockdown for quite a while now, and you've come up with what I think is a relatively new concept, or quite a cool new concept anyway, that I've tried to share a little bit of with our guys here, and I think it's great that we've got someone like yourself putting out these sorts of videos, because I can do it, but really that's not that exciting for a lot of the young people who are part of the club. What's your take?
Oh, that means so much to hear. Honestly, it was a bit of a random idea. Well, so it all started so we're talking about free solo hockey, I assume.
Yeah.
And okay, so it started in lockdown 1, and my little brother and I were bored as you can imagine, like everybody was, and it was beautiful weather outside, and I was getting the itch for hockey. So I was like, Johnny, it's my little brother. Do you wanna go outside and play some hockey? And to be honest, it started when Maddie Hinch posted this like swivel saves sort of thing, like how goalkeepers can do swivel saves. And I thought, prime opportunity to take the mick out of her and do swivel shots. Because I was looking at it and I was like, that's exactly how forwards score on the floor, like the ability to move. So I did it was a sort of a parody. I brought some dog beds out into the garden and was diving on them. That was the first ever episode, how to floor to score. And then it actually got quite a lot of interest from everyone, and I think people were probably just bored of like normal things. So what was created was the siblings do something for like how to train hockey. So we did reactions, we did resistance training with a band to a tree, we did tennis balls, footballs, just sort of getting as creative as possible. And there is no planning in this whatsoever. It's just set up the camera and see what happens. And my little brother, bless him, he was so great at just like throwing balls and stuff. And it was funny, as more and more views started to happen, he got less he didn't want to be in the camera anymore, so he was like the hand on the outside throwing it in. He was like, I don't want to be on camera. Anyway, and then I had this idea that I wanted to do something more like this to encourage accessibility of hockey. And you need a pitch really to play a game, but then I realized you don't need a pitch to actually just practice hockey. You can do that in your house, in your garden, on the street. And then the concept just kind of came to me randomly one night. I thought freestyle hockey, street hockey, blah, blah. I was thinking about it, and then I realized it's like free solo climbing. You don't need any equipment. You just need your stick and your ball and your imagination. So that's where free solo hockey comes from. And I just didn't have the guts until October to launch it, and then I launched it when I was injured, and I had already created so much content, and I'd created the design, the logo. I just hadn't put it out there yet. And then when lockdown 3 happened, I think it was number 2 actually. Yeah, lockdown number 2, and I just kind of launched it, and then here we are, several months on.
It's pretty cool. I mean, like you say, the hardest thing is just kind of putting yourself out there, isn't it? I mean, I remember when we went into second lockdown, we couldn't have hockey on, so I did live hockey on Facebook for the kids.
Oh, brilliant!
And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is such a nightmare. What if it goes wrong? What if someone puts a silly comment up or something? But actually, it was quite cool. And I think, people like yourself putting yourselves out there is going to help kids get active in a time when really there's not a lot for them to do.
Exactly. For me, it was all about just making it not cool to do hockey at home, because I think it's cool anyway, but just like quite acceptable just to, you know, have your hockey stick. And to be honest, most of it, especially when I've been injured, has been great for my skill development as well. And so it's literally what I would usually do anyway, what I've done for the last few years, but I've just decided to record it, and then they've got more and more wacky as you go on. And now I'm starting a new segment called pre-training skills, and already getting some of my friends, some of my teammates who see me with my tripod out there, and they sort of enter into the camera view, and I'm like, I know you want to be on the channel now. So
They kind of
we've got, yeah, hopefully I'll get some more of them showing me some of their skills as well.
I think it's cool to, you know, get people with a bit of a profile to kind of just show you can do whatever you want to do. It's, you know, just have a bit of fun with it, and it's quite refreshing to see, actually. It's quite cool.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
No, it's all right. Yeah. Right, where are we? So yeah, so that's free solo. What have you got coming up in the next few months then? Just the kind of hockey wise, life wise. You know, obviously.
Yeah, it's all full steam ahead. We've got island matches next week, and then we enter our final massive training block. That's what we call them, blocks of training. So we've got 10 days off to recover after the games, and then we've got 4 or 5 weeks before the Pro League games. So we'll have. I'm hoping the Pro League games will go ahead. Obviously, there's still determined. We're still wondering if the crowds can be there and things like that. But I'm positive England hockey will find a way. GB hockey will find a way. Anyway, we're playing. We should be playing Argentina, Germany. Who are we playing? China and the USA. So that's going to be incredible 4 weekends. Other than Germany, they're all at home, I think.
Yeah. I was looking at tickets, but it's difficult to get across at the moment. It's a shame, really.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have the crowd back, I think.
Yeah, that would. To have the pride back would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have in the summer we've got the Europeans straight first, and it's quite exciting because Europeans leads to World Cup qualification, so there's quite a lot of stakes on this one, which is quite exciting. And to be honest, the way we're going at the moment with the training and the results, and you know, I see England have a huge opportunity to medal, if not win gold there, which is exciting. There's a real belief in the squad, and we want to go and prove a point as well to ourselves. And then the big ticket item, the Olympics, is this summer, and yeah, it's I was just looking at some of the photos from Rio, because I have some of them on what I call my vision board, for my motivation, and it gives me goosebumps every time I'm looking. And we are full steam ahead to go and win gold there. It's defending the title is, yeah, we're not going there to do anything else, which is quite nice. A team, we want to do that, and we believe we can do that now.
Yeah, it's good, and like the pressures from within, from yourselves as well, isn't it? Which I guess is possibly a good thing, putting it on yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting because our vision is be the difference, create history, inspire the future. And the group before kind of, you know, they ticked off the vision, but the beauty of the vision is that it like keeps going. And so whilst they had created history, it's an opportunity to create more history with a new team, and yeah, new it's just a new time. I mean, to win a medal, to win gold at the Olympics is one thing, to do it again is another, but to do it in a pandemic, now that is creating history. So there are multiple things to be ticked off.
Well, back-to-back golds is rare, isn't it, in most sports, let alone a sport where so much can change like hockey, and it's very, very competitive at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the beauty of hockey that the underdog can always win. And not saying that we are the underdogs, but you know, I don't know, people might underestimate our abilities or our danger. But I really believe that any team that has self-belief and has strong sets of values and then works harder than the other team, they can beat anyone. And we already showed in Belgium and Holland that we can compete and beat anyone. You know, narrowly lost out on Struffels to the Dutch in the first game, and we didn't even have our full squad out there. So there's like a real change in our belief, which is going to be really key coming to the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with all sports, isn't it? If you really believe that you can do it, then you're kind of playing with freedom, aren't you? And able to create sort of whatever opportunities you want. I think it's really cool. I'm very excited about, from listening to you, excited about your chances in Tokyo. Yeah, good. But we'll have to, if you do get the gold, you'll have to bring it over to Guernsey and share it.
Absolutely, it'll be going on tour, that is for sure. We'll have a European gold and an Olympic gold, so there'll be multiple.
Brilliant. I love the confidence. Yeah, well, yeah, we would love to have you over if that is something you are keen to do.
Absolutely, I'm passionate about growing hockey across the country, and you know, I came from Durham University, and I could see firsthand up there that there is an inequality in hockey accessibility across the country, not just geographically, but you know, demographically. And I did a tour of the North, which I didn't realize, but it's actually a Game of Thrones reference. But I didn't realize that at the time.
I didn't.
But I did a tour of the North to go and see maybe like 10 or so clubs after the Olympic qualifiers. This is when I had my broken hand as well, so it was quite funny trying to like demonstrate hockey with one hand. But I would love to come and visit your players and yeah, see Guernsey. I've never been, so.
Oh, well, it's a place not to be missed, especially at the moment. You know, hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have some freedom again, so be able to experience that for the first time in a while as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Tess, and we all wish you really good luck in your upcoming competitions and your rehab from injury as well. And we do hope to see you very soon.
Thanks so much, Steve. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting.